Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's Steve coming at you. I hope you had a great day. It's late in the day and I wasn't sure I wanted to make this video, but I feel compelled to discuss the issue that took place in Minneapolis with George Floyd. He's a 46-year-old black man who was slowly, in my estimation, from the video I saw, slowly murdered by a police officer. Essentially the background is he was writing bad checks, showed up to get arrested for writing a bad check. He resisted arrest, apparently, according to what was reported. However, we'll see the video when the police camera video finally comes out. They had him on the ground with his hands behind his back, cuffed. Police officer looked to be fairly tall. He was on his knees. Tall guy, probably over 200 pounds. Had his right knee in Mr. Floyd's back, had his left knee on Mr. Floyd's throat, and he was pressing down, it seemed like, from the video. George Floyd is saying he can't breathe. Please, officer, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And he's pleading to get some air. The people who are videoing and the people standing by watching this are saying, just let him breathe. There's an Asian officer, appears to be Asian, standing off to this, the officer on his knees, left, kind of controlling the crowd, keeping the crowd back. And so for the next 5 to 7 minutes, you watch this officer kill Mr. Floyd. 4 officers, the other 3 who were part of this, didn't even bother to come over and maybe tap the guy and say, yo, get off his neck. So rather than have what appears his knee is here, rather than have his knee there, put it on the top of his back so at least he could breathe. No one even said, hey, just move your knee up a little bit. No one even came over. Complete disregard for life. And this has turned into a big race issue. And I don't personally think it's a black and white issue. I think it's a good and evil issue. I have spent, and for those who know me, I've spent a lot of time, whenever I see police officers, I try and make it a point to go up and thank them for their service, or first responders, because I know they don't get it. I know they're thankless jobs. But this is evil. These are guys who watched a man slowly die, didn't seem to care, held him down. He begged for air repeatedly. Even to the point where he was unresponsive, the cop still has his knee on the man's throat. And nobody did anything. And initially they tried to report out, well, he died at the hospital. No. New report comes out. I was watching Fox earlier, in a new report, Fox News, and came out and said, according to one of the paramedics in the ambulance, he didn't have a pulse when they got him in the ambulance. So we'll see how true that is. But he essentially died on the scene, it was appear, or was near death on the scene, if not dead at the scene. There are a lot of evil people who are police officers, and the good ones need to weed out the evil ones. Because I keep hearing about how good you are, and I know there's good cops out there. And I've backed the blue before. And I know there's intricacies to different things that take place. But you good ones need to start calling out these bad ones and these evil ones. You need to start doing it. This is why you don't have any trust in certain communities like my community, because there's always this initial desire to back the officers when they did something wrong. When they're in the wrong. See, even if a lesson comes from this, because apparently they train officers in Minneapolis to put their knees on people's necks. I bet you that gets taken out of the training, but okay, great, you learned your lesson. The man's still dead. So you learned the lesson, the man's still dead. His family's still missing him. His family's still mourning him. He's still dead. This got to stop. There's going to be a bunch of race hustlers out there trying to turn this into a black-white issue, when I think it's just a good-evil issue. Because as it turns out, according to statistics, police officers kill almost twice as many white people as they do black people annual on average. You don't hear about those stories as much, though, because they're not as televised. But it's happening, and it's got to stop. And we need the good cops to step up and help us weed out and get rid of these bad cops. You want to improve your image? Step up and say something. Now, I know Officer Anderson did up in Washington a couple of weeks back or so, and ended up losing his job for it, getting put on administrative leave because he spoke out against cops during this whole pandemic who were enforcing unlawful orders to arrest people for wanting to go out to the park or go to the beach or running their business. He was talking to cops across the country. He said, stop trampling on people's civil rights and constitutional rights. Stop trampling on their rights. A white officer who said that. And so we need more officers like that to step up and start speaking out against this kind of stuff. That's how you heal the community. That's how you fix things. Disgusting. I couldn't watch the whole video. All I know is a man's dead for forging checks. Didn't have any weapons. Had been subdued by the police. And he's dead. It's gotta stop. And a famous adage, all it takes for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. It's time to stop doing nothing. It's time to step up. And with that, I'm gonna leave this video, guys. I told you it wouldn't be too long. But I'd love to hear your opinions. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Leave comments either way. I'll be very interested to hear your thoughts. With that, I hope you're having a great day. Y'all take care. Pray for our country. Pray for Mr. Floyd's family. Pray that we start to weed out the evil that exists in the police force so that the good can prevail. Y'all have a great one. Take care.